Good morning, snow lovers. I hope you had a nice, fun night watching it fall. Good snowman making snow. And for snowballs as well. But don't tell Myra and Sorry that. Got a feeling she's going to come at me again at 3 o'clock out in the weather garden. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning. Wave meteorologist Brian Good on this snow day that we've got here across Wave Country. Welcome to SnowTALK. I hope you, again, are safe and warm. Everyone traveled all right. Mostly just slush in many areas, but still a very festive snow that we had across Wave Country earlier on today. We're going to go through the amounts that we picked up last night and early this morning. And, of course, we got another alert day that kicks in for tomorrow night for a lighter amount of snow, but still impactful. The bitter cold, and then we'll get into some of the longer-term setup for the extended coming up here in just a few more minutes. First off, though, let's get to the snowboard and show you that, yes, next step on the list is going to be the light snow event as we head into tomorrow night. Nearly the same locations, although it's going to be a little more lopsided north and south. It's going to be a different type of snow. It's going to be a dry snow. It won't stick to the trees like the one that today or last night did. It'll blow around a lot, but it'll have very much a glittery look to the snow out in the yard. It looks like a little sprinkles everywhere. It's got a nice reflective nature to it when you get into a dry snow like that. So it'll look pretty, kind of freshen up the coat because some is going to melt today. In fact, we have a good chance to hit 40 today. You may have already started to see some melting. It's already compressing down. It's good wet snow. We've already lost some of that accumulation. So with the sun trying to come out a few times today, that's going to eat away some of this. So, but we at least have a chance to refreshen it back up. Then we get the next Thursday night. Looks like it's going to be a rain to snow type of setup. In Louisville, we picked up 4.6 inches of snow. Ryan Hoke kept laughing, and we were joking, like, watch everybody see it snow this season be like 4.8. This one got close. 4.6 in Louisville. That now puts our season total, because we had one minor half-inch snow in between all that, that now at just barely under 10 inches for the season. Our normal annual snowfall is right around 13.4. Yeah, we're way ahead of the game. Now, this is a loose map of where some of the heaviest fell. This is not exact. We'll get an actual exact map that will get produced later. It takes a while for all the reports to get ingested, and then a map is generated. But in general, our southern counties, you got a nice little thumping there. Yeah, a couple of inches of snow, maybe a little bit overachieving in parts of Nelson County, over 2 inches. Generally, the heaviest was across Indiana, right into Louisville and just east of Louisville. Highest I saw and report was over 6 near Hubers, Orchard and Winery there into Starlight, Indiana. So keep your reports flying in. You can comment as well. If you have your snow report, we'll see those comments fly in as well. And one thing we've been working on, of course, while we were preparing for the winter that we didn't expect it was going to get a little bit out of control, was our winter outlook. And part of the winter outlook, of course, was the snow guess contest that we had. And if you guys remember that when we talked about the snow guess contest, we said that we were going to have everyone try to guess the greatest amount that you could have, and whether or not you could end up making it into being our snow ambassador that we have in the area. And we're lucky enough that we were able to declare a winner from the first snow we had back on, I think it was December 5th. I already forgot already. It's bad that I can't remember that. I know who does remember, though, and that is our winner of the snow contest. Everyone, please give a round of applause and congratulate, do the little clap emoji here, to Cecilia Morgan, who won our snow contest. Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
Hello.
Congratulations, first off. You picked the snow contest. I think you were surprised, though, when I reached out to you, because you were like, I won? Are you serious?
I was.
Now, you guys...
I was very surprised.
I bet. Now, what did you have any type of methodology to it on trying to pick out this snowfall amount?
Well, I kind of thought about the past years and how much we usually get. And so I kind of went from there.
Oh, that's a very easy formula. I like that. Did you pick the date for any particular reason? Was it someone in your family, or did you really just like that date?
I just kind of liked that day. It wasn't any reason, none whatsoever.
All right. Well, hey, there you go. And you were with 18 other people, by the way, on that same day, but you had the highest total to come close to that 4.8 that we had
Okay.
from the snow. So there you go. So congrats again. Congrats again. Now you're where are you from? Tell everybody where you're located at, and did you grow up here?
I am from Louisville, but I grew up in Glasgow, Kentucky. We have a lot. We had more snow back in my day of growing up. I remember playing in it real well. It was great. Um, we used to walk in the snow to school, so we didn't get to stay home and do the NIT like they do now.
Oh, it's a much different world now, isn't it? You're right. Yeah,
Right.
I would love to have a snow day personally. It'd be really nice.
Yes.
We need one of those. So, how much did you get out of the snow? Are you in the city? Or are you in the?
I'm in the city. We
Okay,
got about 4 to 5 inches, somewhere in between there.
all right. Have you already been out playing in it?
I have. I had to go clean off my car.
Oh, okay. We'll count that as playing. Now, are you a big snow lover, or do you tolerate it?
I am not a snow lover. Especially if I have to go out in the snow. But if I don't have to go out in the snow, it could snow all day.
There you go. All right. So it's as we get older, I think that kind of happens, right? We're snow lovers as
Yes.
kids, and then as we get responsibility and we venture out on the roads, it starts to change a bit. So, well, congrats again for winning our Snow Guest contest. It was a huge event. Is there anything you want to shout out to anybody watching right now? You may have friends or family watching. If not, you're about to.
I don't even know if they're watching. I didn't really tell anybody, but enjoy the snow and be careful out there.
All right, Cecilia Morgan, thank you so much. You're going to be our snow ambassador. So at times, if you get a chance to send us some snow videos, or if you make a snowman outside, or whatever the case may be, just send them to us. And at times here on the blog, we'll show them, and maybe we'll check in live with you during another big snow as it's happening. And on top of the Snow Gas contest, you're going to come by and do a VIP tour here at the Wave Studios, which I
Yay.
think you said was the main reason you really wanted to do the contest, right?
That was the main reason I really put in for the contest. I said that would be very interesting to get to see the studio and how it looks and how everything works there. So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
All right. Well, wait until you meet Tawana and Carson. They're a trip. Tawana can be a little mean.
No.
No, I'm teasing. Listen, congratulations again, Cecilia. We love you already. We can tell that you are a big fan of snow. Even we got to drive in. Sometimes we got to deal with the reality of
Right.
it. But congrats again to you, and I hope we get a chance to talk soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Cecilia Morgan, again, our latest snow ambassador, first snow ambassador, really, from the Wave team here. So that's really cool that we have a chance to bring her on board. I love that, and hopefully we have a chance to talk to her in future times. And good luck next year for those of you wanting to do that Snow Guest contest. Maybe you'll get a chance to be on here. Now, I don't think Cecilia realized that we're going to end up probably with 1 million snow systems this season, but that's the way, obviously, it's starting to trend for the area. It's off to a fast start. We were hoping to get her on a little faster than what we did this season, but because it got off to a fast start, it took a while for us to coordinate with her to get everything all set. But that's all right. We're back on track now. We're back on track. All right. So let me show you again where we're at on that snow map, and then we'll get into the game plan for what's ahead, because we do have another round of snow coming our way, as I mentioned, for the upcoming weekend. Here's a live look right now as you get into this is going to be in New Albany at the moment. New Albany showing, some slush still on some of the side streets there, but overall, it doesn't look too bad. Most of the trees look really pretty, right? It's stuck easily to the trees. Side roads are just mainly slushy. I wouldn't say iced over really anywhere that I've been able to track. You've been able to get enough groove there in the tires to get a little bit of traction. But salt works so well in temperatures like this. And the pre-treatment, but for sure, played a big impact on having a difference on that. All right, 32, holding right at the freezing mark right now in Louisville. 30 as you head toward LaGrange, and we got 33 as you head toward Jasper, Indiana. Now, this is where the sun, again, is going to be trying to come out. You can see some of the breaks in the clouds as the sun's getting up a little higher in the horizon. You're just not able to actually see it, but it's revealed in the snowpack. Looks like it's right through there, central Kentucky. You see a little bit of the gray. Anything moving as a cloud, obviously. So The first batch of clouds on 64 is moving east. Looks like there is sun coming out in southwest Indiana. Carrie, I don't know. Are you getting any sun where you're at? And southwest, where are you? Southeast, that's where you're at. Let me know if you got any sun there. So again, the sun at times, I don't think it's going to be a completely sunny day, but we'll have peaks of sun, and that combined with temperatures getting above freezing, you know what I'm going to say, it's going to start melting. So if you want to enjoy the snow, my advice to you is get out early. If you're going to go sledding, you're going to make a snowman, do it early, because you're going to lose more and more of that snowpack as each hour goes by today. But it's a good snowman making snow. It packs really well, and you can make a snowman real easily there. So have some fun with it. But again, you got limited time. Hopefully, we don't lose too much. I know snow lovers don't. They want to hold on to some of this, so then when we get the more snow tomorrow night, then it makes bigger and deeper snow, right? I know how you're thinking, because I think that way. But for at least right now, it's good for travel. That's a big plus, because I still have some Christmas shopping I got to do, and hoping to get out. All right, where is the clipper that's coming down the pipe here? Well, it's back nearly in the same spot, I think, yesterday when I was talking to you guys about the one that came through last night, back into the upper parts of Montana and to the Dakotas. Now, this one's going to have a different type of dive, but what is interesting about it, being an Arctic boundary, is this digs across the Midwest later on for tomorrow and tomorrow evening. The stripe of snow will be on and north of its track, but it will, as it pivots into Ohio, it will actually tighten up. The gradient through here is going to be very tight temperature gradient of roughly around 30, 32, but in the single digits on the northwest side of the clipper. That Arctic air is going to punch into this clipper. When that happens, you're going to get some enhancement. The clipper is going to dig. You actually will see it tracking along, and then will dig almost like its back wheels right into the heart of wave country. It's not going to last very long, and certainly a lot shorter duration than what we've had with this previous one. So it's got a limit on duration, but as it does that little dig into the Ohio Valley, and that may happen after sunset the way it's looking now, that's where you could get a burst of snow that can easily accumulate.
I'm just observing.
And there. What, did I do something wrong?
No, I'm just observing.
Oh, okay. Hi, Tawana.
Hi.
Tawana's not feeling too good. You probably noticed her voice. Not the best. You should be in bed right now. Why aren't you in bed?
Because I'm watching you.
You should be in bed.
I'll be.
I'm being your panic. Get to bed right now. Take a Robitussin and put on YouTube videos about animals. Ships and airplanes. Yeah, that's all we watch all the time. So, all right. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Sorry.
That's all right. So yeah, as that clipper digs, that's where we're going to get at least a chance to get some light accumulations in the area. All right. So let me walk you through future casts. This is going to change a little bit as we get closer in time. But in general, today you see the patchiness of the sun and a little bit of clouds, yada, yada, yada. That will continue for the rest of the day. But I think we have enough sun breaks that 40 is going to be reachable today, especially in areas that have a thinner snowpack than others. Then for tomorrow, we'll start to get some flurries. Will be breaking out in advance of the clipper, but the snow already began along I-70. If you're traveling north toward Indy or heading toward 71 there in Cincinnati, it already began about lunch. And the snow will be very high ratio snow, again, very fluffy. Usually in Arctic air, when the model shows a snow band like this located in this area, the reality of it is going to be a bit wider. It's just that it's so light that even the model doesn't fully see it, but we can see it when we look at the energy level, the upper level energy of the clipper. We can tell that it would support snow falling more to the south, even though the Futurecast isn't showing it there. So it usually is a very expansive, wide area of light snow. There can be some banding features. Those will likely stay to our north, a little closer to I-70. And then we got that dig, and here comes the dig as we get into about 8 p.m. That is when the back wheels, think of a motorcycle, comes into the Ohio Valley. That very cold Arctic air hits the clipper and then pushes it and starts to do the dig right into central Kentucky, and it's out. I mean, it happens real fast, but it's happening at night, and with a high ratio of snow, it easily will coat everything. So how much will it coat everything? Well, this has got a limit to it. I think most of us are going to be at less than an inch. I'm accounting for a spot or two that will be a little closer to the track and that little pivot that could get like a 1.1, maybe a 1.3, something like that. This is not a 5.5 or 6.2 type of snow here. This is not a wet snow. This is a dry snow. and it may blow around too with the wind. So, but in general, very light coating of snow. You travel though a little closer to Indy. There's just a touch more moisture with it, and therefore you can get over the 2-inch mark and get a little closer to maybe 3 inches out of this. But as we saw with the previous clipper, the track can easily change and shift a bit. So we'll be monitoring that today to see if there's more of a dig now that it's now entering the United States here, more of a dig than what the models indicate. If so, then we will take what you see here and we will adjust it a little more south. I don't think it's going to go all the way down to Tennessee, but another row of counties or so, I think that's fair. Either way, this is different than the last one in the sense that instead of hovering around 29 to 30 when we had the snow last night, we're going to be on a steady drop as the snow moves on through. More on that in a second. Here's the matrix. You guys love looking at this. But here's the thing. With the matrix, it still sees the snow from this morning because of the way the model time ran. But it said we would get 3 inches, by the way. It was, look at all the threes that are showing up. We got 4.6. So it underplayed a bit. But for the clipper, yeah, they're mostly filled in, not completely, but they're all mainly gray. So again, supports a very light snow type of setup. All right, here are the temperatures. Again, during the day, we're hovering near or just below freezing, but then we get into the evening. And as that snow ramps up and that dig kicks in, we drop quickly into the 20s and then into the teens. At that point, salt becomes less effective. So now road crews have got a challenge because things become iced instead of slush outside. And that's going to be much more of a challenge because they'll have to do many more passes to treat that. Even though it's not as much snowfall, it'll be harder to get it off the road. So if you have to travel, especially mid to late evening Saturday, please be careful. Take it slow. If you can get back from your holiday parties a little earlier, just keep it on the Wave Weather app. You'll be able to track when it's moving in. And if it's running behind schedule, then no need to leave early, right? So we don't want you to adjust your plans entirely yet on a forecast here. You have the tools at your fingertips to know how things are going with the event. So you can adjust your plans accordingly. Go to your events, but look at the radar and you see it starting to drop down. You're like, sorry, can I get that ham and turkey to go and all those cookies? And then go ahead and pack up and leave out and enjoy the rest of your night. So that's why we have those tools for you on the Wave Weather app so you all can make those types of decisions. Obviously, we'll be here to send out notifications. Well, I should say Carson will be here. Carson's like, hey, Carson will be sending out notes to say, hey, heads up, it's starting or moving in. Now's the time to start making some decisions. Fair enough? All right. So again, relatively light setup overall there. But we keep staying cold into Sunday with snow on the ground. Single digits for a good chunk of the day Sunday. We will climb, try to get above 10. I don't know how far above 10 we're going to get. It'll be a struggle. It will be one of the lowest angle potential parts of the year will be happening actually this weekend. Maxing out a little more toward the end of next week, but we don't have a lot of daylight in general, and we've got wind, and we're going to be clearing the sky out. Clearing the sky out's key, by the way, on how low that will drop right at sunrise. But that will allow for temperatures to sink below 10, and the wind chill easily will go below 0. Will it go to 10 below 0? I don't know if it will in Louisville, but I think it will in Indiana. Prelude, is there a chance of a flash freeze Saturday night? That's a good question. Only if there is moisture still on the roads from anything that is melting on contact. Some light flurries that fall earlier in the evening that are melting at that point, or still some runoff from the melting from today's snow. Possibly. Otherwise, I think there's enough wind that'll be involved in this that it'll work with us and against us. Work with us to try to help on the roads, work against us on creating wind chills that'll be bitterly cold. So not a true flash freeze in the sense of a temperature drop without wind that we think of sometimes. The road's just a sheet of ice immediately. But no doubt they are going to get slick. Again, salt becomes ineffective the more we get into Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, you have services on Sunday morning. I don't know if you want to step outside anyway. It's going to be so cold. I mean, we're getting to the point you can get frostbite. You're exposed to this. Your skin is for too long. This is certainly your type of weekend too. You got to repair your pipes. I mean, open up your cabinet doors, especially if you have a crawl space instead of a basement. Open up your cabinet doors, drip your pipes. Make sure to keep your pets inside. Hopefully, you don't have to be out there. I know sometimes some people have no choice, so they try to provide a warming bed for them. But you got to keep in mind their water bowl is going to become ice. So you're going to have to keep going out there and changing that water bowl the best you can to keep it. They make warmers for that too. I understand some have restrictions on it, but I really hope that if you're able to, it's only for 36 hours, bring them inside, or at least bring them into a building or structure that can house heat better instead of leave them out in the cold, because we don't want to hear the bad stories that come with that, right? So, and if you can't do it, then maybe a friend or a neighbor can watch your dog or your pet there and take care of them. Harriet, by the way, is indoors under a heat lamp the whole time this is happening. So, in Harriet's eyes, it's 85 degrees. So she has no idea. And I'm not going to tell her what's going on outside. So it's probably best. All right. So what happens after this? Well, this moves on out, and then we are going to get into a warmer pattern. It may take until about lunchtime Thursday to get above freezing. But once we get into the later portion of the week, we warm up in the 50s. It's rain. Could even get thunder. But rain will come into play as we get into Thursday. This is a sharp trough, though. So I do think we're going to go back to snow. But a rain to snow setup, ending as snow around here, those are usually relatively minor because the ground's wet. So by the time you get to snow, it's brief. But we'll watch it. We'll watch it as always because it'll be a nocturnal event when it happens. Again, that'll be Thursday night into early Friday morning. Right now, don't see a big concern with it. We'll see if it sneaks up into something bigger as we get closer. And then we'll have to spend Friday. We'll have to sacrifice Friday to the winter weather gods as a cold day. It will be a colder day next Friday. Not as cold as you're thinking for Sunday in comparison. It'll be similar to today, actually. After that, we are going to change things up. All right. How are we going to do that? Well, first off, here's the long-term snow map from the Euro. You got to ignore all the, let me bring this up full. You got to ignore all the blue in advance of it because it's reading the current snow and clipper. Once this type of matrix, once it marks the map, it marks it forever for the remainder of the calendar on this time frame. So it's a little misleading. So look only where the colors change, and that's when you start to see newer systems. And that's what we're looking for. And you see there's a bit of an uptick that happens here toward between Christmas and New Year's. And there is another one that is pretty obvious as we get into mid-January. Boy, that never happens around here. So it's still a fight back to winter. Even though we are likely to get a thaw, I don't think it's going to last very long. And we'll be back into the throes of more active wintry weather. Some of the indicators to back this up. As of now, the Arctic Oscillation is forecast to stay above the black line. The green lines we're looking at, but it stays above the black line, which is your deciding point of the Arctic air being locked up at the North Pole or on the move. Heading south, the signal drops a little bit more into a favorable spot to go negative as we head into January and perhaps multiple times into January. So, could be interesting there. And when you look at the MJO, and this gets complex, this is what really was a bigger indicator to get into the cold, snowy setup that we've got right now. It's hard to read it, but it does drift over to phase 3 and 4. And I highlighted what phase 3 and 4 would be. And this is really for just the next couple of weeks, really. And that will get us to the end of the month. It shows a warmer signal. Again, I don't think it's going to hold very long. So we did this last year. Remember, we had snow on Thanksgiving. We had snow in early December, measurable snow. And then we were upper 50s, lower 60s for Christmas Eve. And then we remember what happened in January. Everything just crashed. So interestingly enough, it looks similar on that storyline. But I will say, while I'm saying warm here toward the Christmas holiday, it is a very tight, what we call a baroclinic zone of that temperature gradient of warmth in the Arctic cold. And it is not far away. And we have seen several times where the warmth shows up. And as we get closer to it, it keeps shifting east and south. And suddenly the warm up is gone and we're back into the deep freeze. That's happened 3 times since early November. So right now there's good support for a mild pattern. But make sure I put the asterisk there that I'm watching it carefully to see if I see a trend of correction. Right now, the MGO was one of the bigger factors that was arguing against a warming trend before, and it didn't make sense. And that's why we're like, no, it's going to have to correct to this. But now the MGO is trying to hint at a warm period. So that's the reason why we're buying into it a little more than we normally would in this scenario. But I wouldn't buy full on that it's going to be like 80 degrees or anything like that. All right. A thaw, yes, but a thaw to normal. And that puts us close to a big drop without much effort. Any questions on this? There's your entire 10-day. Again, cold and snowy the next couple of days. Not as much snow this weekend as we had last night. I hope you enjoyed it. But a fresh little light coating and slick travel, I think, is our biggest issue we'll have over the weekend. especially Saturday night and early Sunday. Just brace for the cold, guys. It's going to be a sunny day on Sunday, but it is going to be cold. Drip the pipes for sure. Make sure that your car batteries are okay. I would just randomly start the car. That's what I do anyway. I don't know if it's good or bad for it, but I randomly start the car on cold days like that and just sit in it for a minute in the driveway just to make sure the battery's working, everything's okay, and then I'll turn it off. Sometimes I used to do it twice when it gets to extreme cold like this, just to make sure I'm okay when I have to go back to work on Monday. Because if you let it sit and stay cold like that and you wait till Monday morning, you may have a little surprise if your battery is more than a couple years old. You may have a rough morning Monday. So kind of just a heads up. All right, everyone good? A lot of comments in the snow. Everyone congratulating Cecilia. Congrats again, Cecilia Morton, our snow ambassador this year. We start our cars as well. Very good. Your pipes are dripping there. All right, thanks, Kathy. Reminds me of the winters back in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, I mean, there's some similarities to this for sure. The 90s come back to me on this too. Even 2000, December 2000 was a very similar month of this, to be honest. It stayed cold the entire month, though, but it was a cold pattern that hard to shake. All right, see how the wavy reports coming in of all the snow reports you guys are sending, so thank you for those. I'm going to end it for now. I got to get ready for the midday show and get more snow reports ready. Just wanted to touch base with you all, introduce Cecilia to you finally. Thank you, Cecilia, again for your patience, and I'm sure you'll see her several times as we get more snow events coming into the area. You guys are awesome. Thanks for your patience as always with all of our snow forecasts. I know it can be frustrating at times, but we try our best to get it as close to as accurate as we can for you all so you can plan accordingly. And we're going to keep doing that, obviously. And our focus now is shifting solely on the Saturday, Sunday setup. Take care. I will see you on the flip side coming up on midday at 11 a.m.